If you don't want a gas generator, a Tesla Powerwall can be a great way to get backup power in your home. They're expandable and they can even run things like hardwired circuits, but unfortunately these can cost as much as $40,000. But in this video, we're going to look at the world's first alternative that can actually cost you less money and can run things like hardwired circuits. And just like the Tesla, it's got a full energy management application and you can charge it up using solar or regular street power. But what really sets this apart is the fact it's fully modular. Start off with one unit and expand it to as many as 10 for a huge amount of capacity. It all starts with one of these. This is the Watts battery module, and it's unlike any other modular system on the market because whether you buy one of these or 10, each unit has everything it needs to operate. So even if one of them fails in a stack, the rest of the units will keep on running, delivering power. Now when you turn the unit on, it does have a built-in LED display, but most people are going to choose to use the mobile app. A single Watts battery module can put out 1,500 running watts of power combined with 1,200 watt-hours of run capacity. But the real key is to get more than one unit and you'll multiply your output power as well as increasing your solar input charging capacity. Each one of these light units can actually handle 1,000 watts of solar input. Now these weigh about 32 pounds, and the benefit here is that you can actually carry them to any location. And then once you get there, all you have to do is stack them up kind of like Legos, and it's possible because of this connector that they've put on the bottom and top of each unit. Installing multiple units really couldn't be easier. You just take the Watts battery modules, unbox them, and then you simply stack one unit on top of each other. Now that connector isn't just providing some type of communication, you're actually connecting the power itself. You won't lose any of those covers because they're actually magnetic and they store right on the back of the unit. It is a clever design, but it actually serves a purpose because once you've got your stack installed, you might need to have power somewhere else. So you can actually just grab your top unit, put it in your car, or take it where you need to have power in another location. Each module has its own circuit breaker that you'll need to turn on, and then you can go ahead and just press the power button on each one of the units. Now remember, this system can be hooked up two different ways. You can use the built-in outlet on the top of the top unit. Now you're going to see that it only has 2 AC outlets along with 4 USBs, but that's typically not how you're going to be using it. Those are more like convenience outlets. But you can use them to get power from the system, and in this case I even used my transfer switch. So this is a simple example to show how you could connect one of these up to hardwired circuits in your house without doing any special kind of wiring. And here's the app that you get along with the unit. There's no monthly fees. They know that some people are going to use it in a location with no internet at all. So you can connect to the units via Bluetooth alone, or you can use Wi-Fi and even connect it to the cloud so that you can remotely monitor the system. But the real reason to buy one of these isn't just for those outlets on the top, it's to get access to the hardwired outlets on the back. And when we flip it around, you can see that you can remove these small covers, and now you have direct access to the AC power and the DC. Now your DC input is going to be for your solar input, and each one of these modules can handle up to 1,000 watts of solar input. And that's per module, so you can have multiple modules handling thousands of watts of solar charging. But you've also got access to the AC in and out, and the reason you have both is because this unit can act like a UPS. You could use it on just one individual circuit or potentially on your entire house, and this unit has a brain inside to handle all the management, to do the switching between your line power, your batteries, or your solar input and the type of charging you want to have in place. I ran multiple tests with my Tektronix power quality analyzer and had no issues at all. The unit is putting out pure sine power, had low harmonic distortion and noise, and voltage and frequency were all within standards. Now this is a beta version of the app, but everything worked really well, and what I like about it is you can clearly see how much power the unit is using, what's coming in from the street, and additionally what's coming in from your solar panels. And with this system, solar input is going to be really popular. Now here I'm using my solar simulator that will give me about 500 watts of solar output that I can feed directly into the unit. I wanted to try this to see how the app handled it and if the unit itself had any issues. Now when I connected up, I kind of jury-rigged it, but I did use the hardwire in ports to make sure they worked. Everything worked just fine, and you can see with the app, it's pretty cool to be able to see how much power is coming in, what's going out, and additionally this thing even keeps a history, not just by day, but even up to a year. But you might still be wondering, how do you connect this thing up to your entire house like a Tesla Powerwall? Well, that part they're still figuring out. Now they've opened up an office here in the US, so they're definitely serious about solving that issue, but they're working with an adapter that's required to connect this thing up to your circuit breaker panel. This would be a great system for somebody that's using it in a cabin or just as their sole source of power and they want to run their entire house. But the unit does have a couple of drawbacks, and the first one is it's not actually available to purchase yet. The first unit should be for sale in the fall of 2021, but it's not going to be a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo. You're just going to place an order for the product when it comes out and you'll get it delivered. And they're also coming up with the ability to deliver 240-volt power from the stack as well. That's definitely something we need in the US to run things like well pumps or other heavy-duty appliances. So the point of this video was to show you something pretty cool that I was excited about myself, not to take your money because there's nothing to buy. And I've put all the product specifications in the description, as well as a link to the company that you can check out for more information. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already for more videos coming up.